Okay, so we've got this post created. It has the name, it's got the content, we've got the like, the comment, the share button, and we've got this new comment box right here. And when we click the button, it displays comment. We've got this nav bar. So I'd like to go over a little bit of a recap of what we're doing so far in this project. So we've included jQuery, which is a way to make JavaScript just a little bit better. And then we've included Bootstrap, which allows us to bring in components without having to actually code them ourselves, such as the navbar. And then we have our index.js and our index.css, which are JavaScript and CSS pages, because we don't actually want to put both of those in our HTML page because it would get cluttered. So then we include our navbar in this div by typing data include and then typing the file path. So component/navbar/navbar.html. And then this works because on document.ready, or as soon as our page loads, we call index or include HTML, and then include HTML loops through every single div that has the data include property, which this div does. And then it grabs the file from that div, and then it loads it into it. So that's how we have our navbar in a separate page. So we know based on that you could technically keep this code even if you don't necessarily know exactly what it means. And if you want to include something else, you could just copy and paste this div and just change the location to be whatever file you want to include, and it would work just fine. So then we have our posts container. Remember, our div is basically just a container. Our class is posts container, so that's going to hold all of our posts. Then we have post container right here, which is one post. We have our name, our content, our buttons, all separated into one container. And then we have the comments. And then when you click on the image using this onClick, it looks for the display comment function in JavaScript, which is right here. It grabs the value of our post new comment ID. Post new comment ID is this input. So it grabs the value from that, and then it alerts us and says comment. So the problem that we have so far with this post is that it doesn't really have any substance. Like, technically speaking, we could just duplicate it, add another one, refresh the page. Now we have two posts. Actually, while I'm here, we do want to separate spaces between posts. So we're going to have a margin top of 3%, or maybe 2. Now 3 is fine. 3% on post container. Margin top 3%. Great. So we have multiple posts now, but we have no way for anybody to type in their own posts, and we have no way to actually get posts that people could have typed in. So the next thing that we're going to be able to do is create something up here that allows somebody to actually create their own post. So to do that, I am going to delete this extra post that we made. And then I'm going to type in up at the very top, div class equals new dash post dash container. Then we're going to have p create new post. And then we're going to create a text area. And we're going to give that class of new post content. And a text area is just a really big input text. And then we're going to create a button. And we're going to give it the class of btn dash primary. and then we're going to type create post. And BTN and BTN-primary are classes that come with Bootstrap. So this button will be automatically styled. If we refresh the page, we'll see this. Now we want to go to where we have our post container. We're going to copy the exact same things for our new post container. Okay, so then we're going to want to create our own thing for just a new post container. We're going to type display flex, and actually we can do this in here just so that we have reference for it. Display flex, flex direction, column. We're going to set our buttons width to be like 20%. Maybe 25% is good. And then our new post container, we're going to give it a padding left of like 25 pixels. Let's go 17. And then a padding right of 17 pixels as well. And then our text area, we're going to get margin bottom 3%. And then our create new post, we're going to make it a little bigger. 19 pixels. We'll just bring it up to like 22. And we're going to give it a bit of a darker tone to it. So font weight 500. Or you'll notice bold is much bolder. So that's why we're going with 500. Okay, so we've made some progress. So I'm going to copy this now. New post container. We'll just overwrite it. Copy this. Now what did we name the class for that? We didn't. Okay, so class equals new post header. So then we'll create another one. New post header. Paste that stuff in there. Text area, new post content. We're just going to give it a margin bottom. Excellent. And then our button, we're giving it a width of 25%. We're going to add our own custom class. We already added these Bootstrap classes to it. We're just going to call this new post button. And I guess this is something else I didn't explain. Something can have multiple classes. So that's basically the difference between this and this. You just separate each class name by space. So new post button. Copy width 25% in there. Now if we refresh, is it good? Cool. So if we go to our button, we're going to want to have an on click equals add post. Then we're going to create another function called add post. And then post content equals now if we go back to our text area, we're going to give it the same ID as the class name, new post content. So we're going to say new post content dot val, then alert post content. Now let's refresh and see if that works. Cool. Okay, so we've got our new post template set up.